glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious. And I will defend.
You already know your boy Menace, InternetSmarks. We back at it again. Here with this week's NXT and 205 live recaps. It was pretty interesting. When it comes to 205 live, like, I got some things that I'm gonna say about it that I'm kind of already not liking. But we're gonna start with NXT and work our way backwards. NXT was last night, 205 live Tuesday night after SmackDown. NXT last night starts off with the #1 contender. Well, I guess who will be the next #1 contender in the female division for the NXT Women's title. They had Liv Morgan and Ember Moon facing off. Pretty decent match. I guess it was just a pick between the more experienced wrestler or the character that's been there, because Liv has been there longer, but even showed in the ring yesterday that Ember is definitely more skilled in the ring than Liv is. Ember ended up winning the match, but I still see Liv challenging for that title eventually. Right now, character development is up there, but her moves are not, so she still has to work on that. So yeah, Ember Moon took that win. They followed that up with my man No Way Jose facing off against Kona Reeves, this new Hawaiian dude. I've seen him before, wasn't excited, still wasn't excited when I seen him yesterday. He's got this corny ass surfboard move he tried to do when he got on No Way Jose's back while he was down on the floor. At the end of the day, it wasn't enough. No Way Jose hit him with a pop-up punch and took him out. So we'll see what happens next for No Way Jose. He's got another one of those, great characters, but his moves ain't all the way up there, so he just has to match his moves with his character. Followed up by Sanity's Eric Young facing off against Chris Atkins, Jobber Life. EY pretty much made easy work of him. Afterwards, he started off talking about, well, setting a threat pretty much to Ty Dillinger about making the wrong choice and not deciding to join Sanity. And then Damo, or I guess Killian Dane is his new name, does a senton bomb on the floor to that Chris Atkins kid. Poor guy. And I will say, ironically, my favorite segment of the night was the women's segment at the finish, which was Asuka, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross were supposed to have a face-off before they have their four-way match. And even after Regal promised that the ladies had promised they wouldn't be a fight, it pretty much was a fight from the jump. Peyton and Billie Kay got to say a couple words, but as soon as Asuka and Nikki Cross got out there, there was no more talking. My favorite part was after the little first fight, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce are gone. Nikki Cross and Asuka are about to face off against each other. Security comes and tries to break them up, and these two girls beat the hell out of the whole security team. And I'll tell you this much, it looked legit. Like, Asuka was really hurting these poor guys, and it's sad to say, but her and Nikki Cross, both crazy, and I'm definitely looking more forward to them two just facing off than even having Peyton Royce and Billie Kay in the match. But that's definitely going to add to it with the, their whole double teaming and doing crazy shit to try to get the win. But we shall see. You never know. When you got two people working together in a match and none of them care which one of the two leaves with the belt, they really still have an advantage. Because while Nikki Cross and Asuka are trying to take each other out, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are working together, so one of them could win the belt. So we'll see how that ends up. That was pretty much it for NXT last night. It finished off with a promo of Nakamura and the Glorious One with their match coming up. The promo videos were amazing, especially the one that for Authors of Pain and DIY. Like, they showed the whole storyline of Authors of Pain and how they've done everything they said they were going to do up to this part. So will they be dethroning DIY, or will DIY be the first ones to give Authors of Pain a loss? That's interesting right there, and we shall see. That was it for NXT. Moving on to 205 Live. Now, before I even get into the matches, the one thing I'm already starting to notice with 205 Live is they cannot handle having a roster like this full of good talent. Too quickly are guys going from title contention to nobodies. Like, these guys are literally going from #1 contenders to facing jobbers and not even being spoken about. It's crazy. Like it just happened. Brian Kedrick, you know, T.J. Perkins. Like these guys were just facing off for the title, and now they're facing, like, I'm not gonna say nobodies, but they're pretty much starting back from the bottom, while other guys are getting the push. And I believe it's because, you know, WWE really not known to be able to handle that much good talent. You can't do something with everybody. They only got specific people they're really working hard with. So there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna get left in the back burner. It sucks, but it is what it is. And that's pretty much what I was feeling about yesterday's matches. Like, there was a few matches that were pretty much, like I said, the guys that were just in title contention facing off against guys that are up and coming right now, which I felt is kind of messed up. But we shall see. It's another sad thing is them being stuck after SmackDown. I don't see why they wouldn't just independently put them on a Wednesday night, because clearly the crowd after SmackDown is not that interested, because they're not as exciting as it is seeing the crowd on SmackDown. But we can't force everything. 205 Live started with TJ Perkins and Tony Nese. This is one of those situations I'm talking about. Even though Tony Nese has been getting the push, but TJ Perkins was just a #1 contender and gets sent right back to that. So TJ Perkins ended up winning the match with a roll-up, but after the match, Tony Nese ended up attacking him. You know, the premier athlete, showing off his heel tactics. So it's helping him with the push. So, but I don't know really what's going to happen with TJ after this. Like, is TJ really going to keep on moving backwards, or is he just going to help put over Tony Nese and then get a shot again? Like, being the first champ to then being this guy, I don't know. Creative sometimes makes a lot of twisted moves, and I really can't explain it for them. They followed that up with Brian Kendrick versus, you can't make this up, but I'm sure they made it up right before the show, Trip Bradshaw. Right after SmackDown, and right after the situation where Bradshaw fell trying to get into the ring to save Jerry the King Lawler, a jobber named Trip Bradshaw is on on 205 Live, facing off with Brian Kendrick. You can guess what happened. Brian Kendrick won. Trip Bradshaw. That's kind of embarrassing. What else we got? The match, I believe, was the main event. Neville and Cedric Alexander. Now, just with those two names alone, you know it was going to be a good wrestling match. Neville and Cedric are both crazy with the moves. So it was an exciting matchup. It finished off with a no contest because Noam Dar came in there, you know, doing distractions or whatever. Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander ended up facing off and fighting all the way to the back. Rich Swann coming out, facing off with Neville. And the heel is becoming a better heel every week. And Neville's heel character is way better than good Neville. The term I always love to say, people you love to hate, he's in that category right now. So I actually want to see Neville get that title. He's more deserving of it than anybody else. Rich Swann is great, but Neville deserves it after everything he's been through. So we'll see. As much as they've been changing his title, well, I mean, as quickly as they've been changing the title, I don't see why they wouldn't just put it around the waist of Neville. But, you know, we never know what they're actually going to do, so we'll just leave that in the air and see what happens. But that's pretty much all that happened between the two events, NXT and 205 Live. I appreciate y'all for always tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe to that InternetSmarks 1. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube. And we'll be back next week with more recaps. We will be here with a pre-show predictions for this weekend's Royal Rumble. So we'll be back with that. And yeah, salute. Make sure y'all follow us, InternetSmarks.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter at InternetSmarks1 for all newsrooms and updates for everything WWE, as well as live tweets for all WWE programming.